Hey, Shalom Israel. Yeah, how about Shem Yahshua Brakathum to the brothers? Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alathan, by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Where the ISUPK started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up the greatest people on the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And in 2025, there's nothing more important. With everything that you see going on in the world, there's nothing more important, you know what I'm saying, than us coming back to our identity. You dig what I'm saying? Preaching Officer Shabal coming to you live from Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Where we have class in the Las Vegas area every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday is a brotherhood class. Wednesday is the biblical law class, and Thursday is the scripture breakdown class. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with us, man. You can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Las Vegas as well. You can find us on Instagram, ISUPK Las Vegas. And you can find us on TikTok, man. ISUPK Las Vegas on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe if y'all can, man. Let everybody know that we live, all right? If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. You know what I'm saying? Lord allow, I can answer your question tonight. If I'm not able to answer your question tonight, you know what I'm saying, I will write that question down, and Lord allow, I'll have it have the answer by the next class. All right. So if y'all could bear with me as I like and share the class around myself. As y'all can see, the topic for tonight's class is serving God requires integrity. You know what I'm saying? You cannot call yourself a man or a woman of God or a follower of God or the Most High God in Christ and not have any integrity. You know what I'm saying? Integrity is what separates us from these other nations. You dig what I'm saying? How we carry ourselves. So we'll go into that a little bit tonight. You know what I'm saying? If Shannon Sharp had a little bit of integrity, he wouldn't be caught in the situation that he's in. You know what I mean? If a majority of these athletes and celebrities out here that have gotten caught up in all these different scandals, you know what I'm saying? If they had this thing called integrity, which we're gonna go into tonight, you know, they wouldn't be in the positions that they're in right now. You dig what I'm saying? So again, like and share the class. Let everybody know that we live. You know what I'm saying? And you know, tap in with us, all right? So I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds to tap in, and then we're gonna get it from there. All right. If there are no questions, I'm gonna go into a little bit of a pre-topic. You know what I'm saying, before I go into the actual topic. You know what I'm saying? For those that know how I get down with these classes, you know, I usually you know, I go through the questions first, whatever questions there may be, and then you know, if there aren't any questions, then you know, I bust down a pre-topic, usually covering current events, you know what I'm saying, that might be going on, you know what I'm saying, at the time, and then I get into the actual topic itself. TikTok, what's happening, y'all? Shalom to the TikTok universe, man. What's good out there, man? What's happening, man? Tap in, y'all. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever we live, man. Tap in, all right? You know what I'm saying? This is for those that's just coming into the TikTok, this is the ISUPK Las Vegas scripture breakdown class, all right? If you have any questions, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and type them in. You know what I'm saying? And if I can answer your question tonight, I'll go ahead and answer it. If not, you know what I mean, I would definitely, you know what I'm saying, write your question down so that I can get it answered. Unlike the Christian church, we don't lean on our own understanding in here. You know what I'm saying? We do not lean on our own understanding here, meaning this. If we don't know the answer to a question, we're not going to just make something up like your pastor would. We'll actually take the time to do the research and reach out to men who have more knowledge than us and have more experience than us to get the proper breakdown. So then that way we're not teaching any type of false doctrine. You get what I'm saying? So anybody on TikTok, man, hey, shalom to all y'all. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and type them in. If you watch it on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and type them in. And Lord allow, I'll be able to answer your questions tonight, all right? Real quick, man, the last couple weeks, our TikTok, man, has gone through the roof, man. And we just want to give a shout out to all the brothers and sisters who've been supporting this truth, supporting all the our ISUPK, not just Las Vegas, but Southern California, Northern California, you know what I'm saying, Detroit, Atlanta, you know what I'm saying. We appreciate all the support, man. There's been a lot of likes and comments on the videos that we've been posting, and there's been so many that we haven't had an opportunity to respond to each and every comment. But trust and believe, we see them. We see the ones that showing love, and we even see the ones that showing hate. You know what I mean? And just because we haven't responded yet, don't mean that we won't. You know what I'm saying? If those that's coming in there dropping comments that's trying to stop what we doing at or throwing hate our way because of what we doing, you know what I'm saying? We'll see y'all and we'll get at y'all. But for you brothers and sisters, man, that's showing love, we appreciate it. You know what I'm talking about? We definitely appreciate the love and support, man. Again, ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas on YouTube, ISUPK Las Vegas on Instagram, and ISUPK Las Vegas on TikTok as well. It's real simple. All you gotta do is just type in ISUPK Las Vegas, man, and everything will pop up. You know what I'm saying? So anybody have any questions, go ahead and type them in. If you're on TikTok or if you're on YouTube, Facebook, go ahead and type them in. If not, I'm gonna get into this real quick. All right, and if not, or if I once I get into it and we get to going, if anybody has any questions during that, you know what I'm saying, ain't no thing for me to spin around, get the question, you know what I'm saying, answer that, then boom, go back to the topic. All right, so ain't no problem. So don't think that there's a bad time, you know what I'm saying, to ask a question. You know what I'm saying? This is a description breakdown class where all questions are welcome. You dig what I'm saying? So because I don't see any questions at the time, this is something I want to say real quick, right? So I said about a year or so ago, I did a video about Lizzo, right? And it wasn't necessarily about Lizzo or Lizzo's weight. It was more so me talking about the fact that she allowed them people, and y'all know who them people are, she allowed them people to use her to push an unhealthy agenda and an unhealthy lifestyle. You did what I'm saying? And I made that video pointing out the fact that once they got done using her, they turned around and made fun of her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all saw that South Park movie when they was doing it. I think it was Ozempic, I believe. I can't remember exactly what they was using, but there was a whole weight loss thing that was going on in that episode. And they used Lizzo, you know what I'm saying? And they made a joke out of her. You see what I'm saying? And at first she was all for it, but then I guess after a while, I guess she thought about it and she realized how much it hurt her feelings. And so then she wanted to, be offended. But it's like, you're the one that was pushing this agenda in the first place. You allowed them to use you as a tool to push an agenda. Here's the whole thing though, right? In that video, the point that I was trying to make, hey, Thwada, Tazawar, I appreciate it. The whole point of me making that video is we can't allow ourselves to be played by these celebrities, because these celebrities is doing the bidding of the oppressor or the taskmaster, any one of those words that you want to use, right? And so the whole thing about it is, the point that I was trying to make was this: whether it's Lizzo or whether it was Monique back in the day when they was pushing that big is beautiful, love who you are, you know what I'm saying, embrace who you are, be big, be bold, and all these other kind of things. You can say that all day long, but the person that will not agree with you under any circumstances is your doctor. You see what I'm saying? So you can sit there and you can try to push that unhealthy lifestyle all you want, and you'll mess around and you'll be on medicine for the rest of your life because you got diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol or things like that. You see what I'm saying? Under no circumstances should we ever be pushing a lifestyle that causes us to be unhealthy. You dig what I'm saying? And I caught a lot of backlash because of that video, and everybody wanted to focus on the weight part of it as if I was talking bad about her, when in reality I was talking bad about her allowing them to use her to push an agenda that is not healthy for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You dig what I'm saying? Fast forward to about a year later, if y'all look up Lizzo right now, if y'all just search Lizzo right now, y'all will notice something very different about her. And so I'm gonna ask y'all, what do y'all notice about Lizzo that's different today than about a year or so ago? What's changed about Lizzo in the last year? Because she did the same thing that Monique did. I almost gave away the answer, but I'm gonna hold off. So anybody that's watching that's seen Lizzo lately, what's different about her? Go ahead, sis. She lost weight. Not only did she lose weight, she lost a whole bunch of weight. You know what I'm saying? And she looks healthy. She looks very healthy. And Monique did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they probably went to the doctor, and that doctor said, "Hey, it's too much wear and tear on your joints. You know what I'm saying? This is not good for you. You know what I mean? If you want to live longer, you might want to, start exercising and losing a few pounds." And now she looks really good. You get what I'm saying? Not saying that she didn't look good before, but my point is she looks healthier. And so I said all of that to say this: we have to stop being respecters of persons. And what I mean by that is we shouldn't listen to someone just because they're rich, or just because they're famous, or just because they're good at dribbling a basketball or throwing or catching a football. We got to examine what it is that they're saying. And if it don't make sense, we shouldn't be rocking with it. We shouldn't rock with it just because, it's endorsed by Michael Jordan or LeBron James or whoever. You see what I'm saying? You know how many of these products that they endorse that they probably don't even use themselves, but yet you want to run out and buy it because, Iverson said it was cool. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, there's this big thing that's being pushed amongst black men about us painting our nails, right? And I'm waiting for somebody to explain to me what's so manly or masculine about men painting their nails. And I don't care if you only paint one nail, and I don't care if you choose the color black. There's never been a time throughout our history where it was accepted for men to paint their fingernails. You see what I'm saying? So with these men, it starts with the fingernails. First, it might start with one fingernail. Then it might start with two fingernails. Then next thing you know, they got their whole hands painted. Now, am I saying that you can't go to the nail shop and get your nails cleaned out on the inside of them? I forget what them things is called. Like get calluses removed and stuff like that. Your hands might be rough or whatever. Am I saying that there's anything wrong with that? No, I'm not. But if you go in, if you're a grown ass man and you go up inside the nail shop and you come out with a goddamn French tip, something's wrong with you. You dig what I'm saying? Because if it starts with your hands, then eventually you'll be at the nail shop getting a goddamn French tip on your toes too. You see what I'm saying? Goddamn pink toenails and all this other kind of stuff. All the things that pertains to a woman. You dig what I'm saying? And listen, I couldn't agree with you more, brother. Brother said men painting their nails are jelly-filled cream puffs. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's nowhere in the scriptures where the Lord required us to paint our nails. There's nothing manly about it. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, because a celebrity did it and told y'all that it was cool, we took it and we ran with it. It's no different than, all this music that's being pushed, talking about sliding on the ops and, you spinning the block and you got the blick on deck and you got this, you got that. All these things that are being promoted in these songs are promoted to the detriment of our people. Now, I'm not saying that violence is okay in any way, shape, or form, but what's even worse is the agenda being pushed that it's okay to commit violence against another black man. All these songs that's made about spinning the blocks and carrying sticks and all these other kind of things and sliding on the enemy, it's always another black, Hispanic, or Native American man. And we have to have enough sense to realize that this agenda that they're pushing on us is being pushed on us to destroy us. You see what I'm saying? That's why Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And that lack of knowledge is not knowing who the enemy is. You think your enemy is the black man that has on red and you got on blue, so that makes him your enemy. Or you think that brown man that lives on this side of town is your enemy because you live on the other side of town. When in reality, the real enemy is the one that's behind the scenes pushing all the buttons. He's the one that's in control of the music. He's the one that's in control of the TV shows. He's the one that's in control of the movies. You think black men run the Diamond District? You think black men run Hollywood? They don't. They're allowed to participate in Hollywood, but that comes at a price. You see what I'm saying? What we do is we teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to the Bible. That's what we do to David. I believe that's your name. We're the ISUPK. Started in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And what we do is we teach the Bible in its purest form. We're not the Christian church. We're not the Muslim mosque, Seventh-day Adventists, and none of these fake religions that you will not find in the Bible. What we do is we teach the Bible in its purest form. And in this Bible, there are laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High God gave to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he told us in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that if we were to obey his voice and keep his commandments, he would set us on high above all the other nations. But he also warned us that if we did not keep these commandments that he gave us, that he will punish us and we would be sold as bondmen and bondwomen. And if you fast forward to 2025, we are bondmen and bondwomen. Why? Because we didn't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. So the priests and prophets of the ISUPK are here to teach the law, statutes, and commandments that are in the Bible, to get our brothers and sisters to turn away from their evil, wicked ways and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments so that we can be a holy nation, which means to be separate, to be set apart. In Deuteronomy 7:6, the Lord said that he would set us above all people. So the oppressor that pushes that agenda, all men were created equal and love everybody, and we should all join hand in hand, that's not in the Bible. Matter of fact, I'll pull it real quick just so y'all can see that I'm not making this up. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 1. Y'all bear with me. I'm going to break this down for the brother that asked the question, what do we do? We teach the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to the Bible, and we urge our brothers and sisters to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible so that we can get from up under the foot of this oppressor. All right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Verse 2, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver thee before them, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. So all that hand in hand and we all the same and we are the world and all this other kind of stuff, we just read in the Bible that that's not what God said. The reason why the so-called white man or the colonizer or the oppressor or the taskmaster, the reason why he pushes this agenda on us is because he wants us to let our guard down. And when we let our guard down, we open ourselves up to continue to be made a byword and a joke in this nation. You see what I'm saying? If you think about it, right? So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the only people on the face of the earth that's allowed to be disrespected over and over and over again without there being any consequences, right? I was going to get into this a little later, but you look at the situation with Shedeur Sanders and how he was allowed to be prank called, knowing that this was one of the biggest days of his life, and he was allowed to be prank called, and the only thing that happened was the team got fined $250,000 and the defensive coordinator got fined $100,000. That's chump change to them. $100,000 is a lot of money to somebody like me or you. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to count y'all pockets, but you get the point. $100,000 is a lot of money to us. You know what I'm saying? But to an NFL defensive coordinator who probably makes $3 to $4, maybe $5 million a year, that $100,000 ain't gonna be nothing. It was a little slap on the wrist. You get my point? When in reality, he should have been fired. You see what I'm saying? Had that been a black man who made a prank call to a Jewish player, how do y'all think that would have played out? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Psalms 147 and 19 is a perfect precept to go along with that as well. Let's keep reading. Verse 3. Listen to this and listen to this real good. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. You know who needed to hear this and who should be listening to this right now? Cats like Shannon Sharp and Saquon Barkley and Patrick Mahomes' father. You see what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman's father, you know what I'm saying, who out in the Philippines having kids with all these different Filipino women. You know what I'm saying? Those are women of a strange nation. Those are women who serve other gods. Let's get some more. Let me read again from the top, just in case y'all missed it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So anybody that want to know why Shannon is in that caught up in the midst of a $50 million lawsuit, we just read it. that they may serve other gods. So it says, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. Cats like Shannon Sharp, he serves other gods. And the reason why he serves other gods is because he decided to get in bed with the oppressor, figuratively and literally, right? Verse 5, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. So what does that mean? Your white Jesus, your Virgin Mary, that rock over there in Mecca. What else? Them Virgin Mary candles, these statues, and all these things that y'all believe in that come from the Most High. They don't come from the Most High, right? Those are all things that go against the Most High. And to the cat that said there's a Jewish looking flag behind you, no, what you see behind me is the shield of David, translated in Hebrew to the Magun Dawada. What that is, if you know anything about the ancient Hebrew, that is two das intertwined. It's King David's signature. King David's name in Hebrew is Dawada, right? So now you think about your name. When you sign your name, when you make your signature, it doesn't look like your actual name because it's your signature. Well, when King David sent out orders, in order for them to know that it came from him, he put his seal on it so that they knew that it wasn't no joke and it came from King David. And so that's what King David's seal looks like. That is the Magun Dawada, you know what I'm saying, aka the shield of David. This has nothing to do with anything to do with Judaism, or any of those things. The so-called Jewish man stole that from us and called it the Star of David. When a star ain't nothing more than a ball of gas. That right there is a shield. This thing on my neck, it's a shield. We don't pray to it. We don't worship it. We don't pray to it, lean on it, look at it as a form of protection or any of that. This is just us representing our true culture. You see what I'm saying? The shield of David was stolen from us by this Jewish man, and the reason why he's called Jewish is because ish means to be like. I give you a quick example. Everybody in this chat, I'm gonna assume everybody on TikTok is grown, right? But if there was somebody that was leaving comments, you know what I'm saying, young immature comments, I would say that he was being childish, right? But let's just say that man was 37 years old. But I'm saying he's being childish. Does that mean he's a child? No, it means he's acting like a child. You dig what I'm saying? That's the same thing with the Jewish man. The Jewish man is acting like he's a Jew. But you know how you know that the Jewish man ain't the real Jew? Because the Jewish man accepts homosexuality when in the Bible there's laws against homosexuality. So you like the Bible says, you can't serve two masters. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna love one and reject the other. You dig what I'm saying? How do you think people are gonna look at me? In what regards? What do you mean by that? Give me a little bit more. Why you give me a little bit more context? I'm gonna finish reading Deuteronomy. This is verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The reason why I emphasize all people, and the reason why I emphasize a special people unto himself, because this right here shows that it's possessive. The Lord chose the 12 tribes of Israel to be his special people. And he said that we would be above all people. He didn't say the same. He didn't say equal. He didn't say lower. He said above, right? That's what he said. Y'all bear with me. I got to get my dog out the picture. Excuse me, y'all. Little dog running around everywhere. But anyway, what I was trying to say was, this is the Bible. This is what the Bible says. You get what I'm saying? I just read out of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. So if you don't believe me, go and read it for yourself. It's Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. The Lord said that we will be a special people unto himself, and we will be above all nations. This is why we do what we do. You dig what I'm saying? This is why we teach this Bible. so that we can come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. So then that way we can be looked at as the greatest people on the face of the earth. Okay, so again, ISUPK is for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only. If you are of any other nation, you more than welcome to watch the class. I mean, it's the internet. Feel free. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make donations, hey, listen, what is it? $ ISUPK Nevada. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make donations, or ISUPK.com is the website. And they took away the live violation. What did I do? Damn, that's crazy. I was popping on TikTok, man. Hey, sorry, y'all. Let me fix this real quick because I was popping on TikTok, and for some reason they clipped the live. And unless they mad at me because I called the Jewish man out for being a fraud, maybe that's why they clipped it. But that's okay. We gonna keep rocking. We had 169 viewers, and we had 2 new followers in that little in 23 minutes, man. So I thank y'all. I'm gonna try to go live one more time and see what's good. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go live. Oh wow! So they suspended the live until tomorrow. So all right, ain't no thing at all. See why we call the so-called white man the oppressor? Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to have free speech, right? We're supposed to have freedom of speech in this wretched country, right? But yet, I can't even expose the Jewish man for being a fraud. You dig what I'm saying? So hopefully, those that were watching on TikTok, hopefully they did get the information, and they come over to either ISUPK Las Vegas on YouTube or ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook. You know what I mean? Yeah, listen, man. Everything that you drop in Times of War is heavy as hell, and definitely on point. Definitely on point, man. So anyway, I don't know if everybody that was watching on TikTok came over to YouTube or Facebook, because I was going into Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, to answer a question on TikTok because he wanted to know what we do and why and what's our purpose. You know what I'm saying? And again, the ISUPK's purpose is to teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to the Bible. You see what I'm saying? There are so many people out there that claim that they believe in the Bible, but yet if it goes against their beliefs, they will try to throw the Bible to the side. But the reality of it is this: if you really do believe in the Bible like you say you do, then this Bible should be what you're standing on. Everything to validate or invalidate you or what you heard should be found in this Bible. So the reason why we're against the alternative lifestyle community is because the Bible is against that community. You see what I'm saying? The reason why, even though damn near every song on the radio tells you to sleep with another man's wife, the reason why we are not in support of that is because the Bible is not in support of sleeping with another man's wife. You see what I'm saying? Which I find very interesting, if I could, real quick, right? You notice how no one likes to talk about that part? You're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to be this God-fearing, God-loving person, but yet you be all up in married women's inboxes all the time. So how do you explain that? Oh, well, she came at me. She threw it at me. So that make it okay? It doesn't make it okay. You're out of pocket and she's out of pocket. I don't give a damn what these songs say. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with another man's woman is against the law according to the Bible. They say that type of stuff and show all type of crazy stuff on TikTok, and they shut us down. Yeah, listen, you could probably listen. I can only imagine how many videos there are on TikTok with half naked women dancing all crazy, probably fully naked. I have no idea. But my point is, videos like that are allowed to be posted and get thousands of views, probably millions of views. Here I am talking about the Bible and teaching the Bible and talking about the Jewish man, and they shut us down. Please help me understand how that makes any sense whatsoever. I'll answer that for you. It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the class. There's an agenda that's being pushed on us, making us believe that it's okay to accept things that are supposed to be unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Looking at naked women dancing or just them naked, period, that is unlawful. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with another man's woman, that is unlawful. Two men sleeping together is unlawful. All these things are unlawful according to the Bible. And so for all you Christians out there that like to pick and choose which part of the Bible you're gonna rock with and which part you're not gonna rock with, y'all are the problem. It's cats like y'all that are part of the problem. You dig what I'm saying? But that's it on that. I think I answered the question. And the brother asked, you know what I'm saying, what do we do? I gave him a breakdown of Deuteronomy in the 7th chapter. If anyone has any questions or comments, go ahead and type them in. For those that's just tapping in, we're live on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, and we're live on YouTube as well, ISUPK Las Vegas. All right. And that's the thing. What you're saying is so true, brother. Here's I've asked a Jewish person this before. What tribe are you from? Because they asked me what tribe I was from. I said, I'm from the tribe of Judah, the so-called black man. I said, what tribe are you from? He never answered the question. He just got to spitting all this rhetoric just like Christians do. You got to spitting a whole bunch of nonsense. But in reality, you knew that you could not answer that question because you are not of a tribe. You know what I'm saying? There is no room for the Jewish man on that 12 tribes chart. It's for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only. You dig what I'm saying? So that's it on that, man. If anybody else has any questions or comments, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and type them in. If not, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna speak a little bit on this Shador Sanders situation a little bit, and then we'll get into the topic. All right, because the thing about it is this. Yes, it's sports. Yes, it's entertainment. I understand all that. You know what I'm saying? And the reality of it is, these sports would not be as entertaining or as exciting if it wasn't for the 12 tribes of Israel. If we decided that we wanted to take up water polo, we dominate water polo. If we decided that we wanted to take over swimming, we dominate swimming. If we decided that we wanted to take over volleyball, you name it, we dominate. If we wanted to take over NASCAR, we take over NASCAR because there's nothing that we cannot do. As I read in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, we are the Lord's special people. And if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, he will set us above all people. That's why when you look at Major League Baseball, that's why anytime a good white player comes around, they promote him and they push the hell out of him because they know that black and brown men are running baseball. You see what I'm saying? This is why the NBA is praying to their fake gods that Cooper Flag dude is anywhere near as good as he appears to be, because they're looking for the next Larry Bird, because they're looking to push the Kyrie Irvings, the James Hardens, the Stephen Currys. They're looking to push them out the way. They hate the fact that they have to have a black face as the face of the NBA. They do not like Anthony Edwards at all. And the reason why they don't like Anthony Edwards is because Anthony Edwards is on nigga time. 24/7. He is on nigga time. Now, I'm not condoning the things that he does off the court, but on the court, that's a bad dude. He's arguably the best player in basketball. You dig what I'm saying? But the whole thing about it is he's the face of the league, and they hate that. So they're hoping that Cooper Flag comes in and takes over the NBA so that they can crown him as the king of the NBA, right? Oh, yeah, you're right about that. The brother said, just like when Travis Kelce got that black haircut and they named it after him. Listen, man, thank you for reminding me of that. I think about a year or two ago, Travis Kelce had got a fade, and they had the nerve to try to nickname that the goddamn Travis Kelce, as if niggas ain't been getting fades for shit, who knows how long. Niggas been getting fades. This ain't nothing new. You go to a barbershop in Brooklyn, walk in that barbershop in Brooklyn and say, hey, yo, let me get that Travis Kelce. And they're going to kick your ass up out of there so goddamn fast. Go down to South Central, Shalimar, you know what I'm talking about. Go down to South Central and say, hey, man, let me get that Kelce. They're going to look at you like, look at this cat, man. If you don't get your goofy ass up out of here, and they're going to kick you up out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. That might play out in Kansas City, maybe. But there's mad niggas in Kansas City, too, so that might not fly. But y'all get the point, though. If you're a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, you take your ass in the barbershop and you go in there and you tell them that you want a Kelce. Y'all let me know how that worked out for y'all when y'all get in there. All right. Another thing too, right? With Patrick Mahomes, he just cut his hair Carrada's out, my man. What's good? Travis Kelce, I mean not Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes just cut his hair, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he was mad because he's like, man, why y'all let me walk around with that nappy ass hair for so long? Not understanding that nappy hair is why you're arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play the position. What I mean by that is this. I'm not saying it's because of his nappy hair, like meaning the hair itself. What I'm saying is he got that nappy hair from his black father. He got all those athletic genes from his black father that was a former Major League Baseball player. So the reason why he can throw the ball from all these different arm angles, the reason why he's able to throw on a run like that, the reason why he's so gifted athletically is because of his father. So for him to diss his hair like that and say, why y'all let me walk around with this nappy hair for so long, that's him adopting the All right, slacking, y'all. I was having some technical issues, but we back up and running now. Y'all let me know if y'all still rocking with me. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm telling you, man. First they kicked me off of TikTok because I was calling out the Jewish man. Then here I am going into these sports and talking about our brothers, you know what I'm saying, being up under the boot of the taskmasters, and then all of a sudden TikTok starts YouTube starts freezing. I ain't had no issues with the internet all goddamn day. Now all of a sudden that I start exposing these cats for the frauds that they are. Now all of a sudden we having connection issues. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. We back up and running now, right? So back to my point about this Mahomes character, right? The whole thing about it is he's ashamed of his black nappy hair. And in the midst of that, he forgot about all the cats that was running around getting the Pat Mahomes haircut. Because now, if any type of haircut deserves a name, it should be Patrick Mahomes, because that cut he had going on, that ain't no regular haircut right there. I don't even know what to call that. That's why they started calling it Patrick Mahomes, and that's why everybody started going in the barbershop getting a haircut like him. You dig what I'm saying? They didn't need to call that damn fade the Kelce, because it's called a fade. That haircut that Mahomes had, I don't know what you call that. But because of his athleticism and because of his greatness on the football field, you had cats that was out here trying to get their haircut just like him. Meanwhile, Kelce got his haircut like us. There's a big difference. All Kelce did was the same thing that his forefathers did and been doing for the last 400 plus years, which is take our ideas and try to make it their own. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen when seeing them call that shit to Kelce. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. Y'all so out of pocket with that. Y'all know y'all out of pocket. But you know, that's what they do though. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, if I could real quick, right? Let's talk a little bit about Shedeur Sanders a little bit, right? If anybody has anything that they want to add in regards to this situation, y'all more than welcome, right? For those that don't know, right? this cat was a Heisman candidate, right? He was part of the reason why Colorado had the big turnaround that they did. He's part of the reason why Jackson State had the big turnaround that they had, right? And it's all because of him and his extraordinary abilities on the football field, right? And prior to the draft, the whole conversation was who should be the first quarterback taken? Should it be Cameron Ward or should it be Shedeur Sanders? This is all they have been talking about leading up to the draft. And then a few days before the draft, all these things started coming out about him being arrogant, cocky, all these different things, right? And so what ends up happening, this dude that was supposed to be a guaranteed bona fide first round pick, he slides into the second round. Then what happens? Oh man, he's gonna for sure be a lock for the second round. He does not get drafted in the second round, or the third round, or the fourth round. He finally gets drafted in the fifth round, right? And so what ends up happening is he makes a post. I'm paraphrasing, but he ends up making a post saying, "Man, I'm looking forward to doing what I love to do on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Good out here on this football field and do what I do." And of course, some oppressor comments and says, "I hope this humbled you." The reason why I'm bringing this up is because that whole thing was a whole, hey, get in line and learn your place, nigga moment. That's all that was. Believe me when I tell you, that was a who this nigga think he is. He think he bigger than the game. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell his father think he is, right? His father, who his father think he is gonna tell us whether or not we can draft his son, or whether or not his son can play on this team or that team, or whatever the case may be. Who the hell do he think he is? My question to everybody who has such a problem with what Dion did, my question to everyone who had an issue with what Dion did, my question to y'all is, did y'all have that same issue when Archie Manning did it with Eli Manning? That's all I want to know. Were y'all as outraged at Archie when he said that his son will not be playing on the West Coast and he told the West Coast teams not to draft him? That's how come Phillip Rivers went to San Diego, and that's how come Eli ended up in New York, because Archie was behind the scenes, not even behind the scenes. He let it be known, do not draft my son if you are a West Coast team, because my son will not be playing for a West Coast team. And it was also to show Dion that he is still just a nigga. Yeah, that's true as well. You see what I'm saying? And I hope Prime never forgot that he was still a nigga. As old as he is and all the things that he had to experience playing football in Atlanta, playing baseball in Atlanta, I'm sure he had plenty of, hey, don't forget you still a nigga moment. I'm sure he did. You get my point? But this whole thing was put in place to quote unquote humble Dion and quote unquote humble Shedeur. Even when it came to the whole prank call thing, they said the reason why that happened is because Dion was the one that was representing Shedeur. And if he had a real agent, an agent would have let that number get out. Are you telling me that an agent knows how to protect a player more than a former player? Not just a former player, one of the greatest former players to ever play the game. Dion hasn't played since what? 2005? Something like that. Dion's been out the league for at least a good 15 years, if not longer. And when you ask people today who's the best cornerback to ever play the position, a mass majority is going to say Dion to this day. You know what I'm saying? Was Champ Bailey that dude? Yes, he was. Was Darrell Revis that dude? Yes, he was. But none of those dudes was Dion. You dig what I'm saying? Because not only could Dion do it on the defensive side of the ball, he also could do it on the offensive side of the ball as well. You dig what I'm saying? So you really think that Dion didn't know what he was doing when he gave that number to the coaching staffs of all these NFL teams? You think he's not trying to protect his son from some of the things that he had to experience? If y'all really believe that, then it's just more proof that y'all hate niggas. That's all that is, right? But let's get a couple scriptures real quick before we get into the topic. All right, let's go into the Apocrypha. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 14, right? It's First Maccabees 1 and 14. Actually, let's see. Let's go with 11. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. See this right here. This is your TD Jakes, your Creflo Dollars, your Steve Harveys, all these Negroes that will say and do any and everything necessary in order to get close to the oppressor. Even the Bible refers to them as heathens as well. A heathen is anyone that is not of the 12 tribes of Israel. You dig what I'm saying? Stockholm syndrome. That's a good way to frame it, right? Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathens. In other words, the king gave them a green light to pursue all their lusts. Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, right? You fast forward that to today. What is the place of exercise known as today? What would be the 2025 version of a place of exercise according to the customs of the heathen? What would y'all call that today? That's one. A little bit more though. That's one answer. No, not the Christian church. What is the 2025 version of a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen? The Olympics is one of them, but in this context, which should give y'all the answer, in this context, that's not what I'm referring to. But Olympics is a good answer. Again, I find it very strange that when I get to talking about the oppressor or the taskmaster, all of a sudden I'm having all these internet issues. But we back up and running now. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I think I'm back up and running. Entertainment is a good answer, but NFL is the answer that I was looking for. Amanabath, you got it. The NFL is what I was looking for. And the reason why the NFL is the answer that I was looking for is because we're talking about the Sanders family. You dig what I'm saying? The Sanders family, you know what I'm saying, is playing in the at the water. I appreciate y'all. The Sanders family has played and is playing in the place of exercise at Jerusalem. Am I saying it's unlawful? I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that the colonizers or the taskmasters, any of those words that you want to use, they are still alive and kicking to this day. How do you know? Because, and here's what's so funny about it. Now, all these cats are supposed to be in competition with one another, right? Because the whole goal is to win the Super Bowl, supposedly, right? But they'll all come together for a good cause. And when that cause is teaching a nigga a lesson, they will band together and they will put all their differences to the side. All you gotta do is look at what they did to Colin Kaepernick. I remember when the Ravens owner was thinking about giving him a tryout. What did he say? Pray for me. All he was doing was finna get a dude a tryout, and he said, "Pray for me." Why do you have to pray? Why do people have to pray for you because you was bringing Kaepernick in for a workout? This happened all the way back in 2016. All this man's prime years are behind him. Please do not be surprised if when Kaepernick is 38, 39 years old, somebody decides to want to offer him a contract. Don't be surprised. And they'll offer him a contract because they're hoping that he'll accept that contract, come in and fall flat on his face. That's what they're hoping for. But what I'm hoping that Kaepernick does, if they do offer him a contract, is tell him to kiss his ass. That's what I'm hoping that he does. Now, when that happened, what should have happened is all these Negroes that claim to be pro-Negro should have came together and started their own league. And I guarantee you within a few years, that league would have put the NFL out of business. Why? Because all the Negroes would have went to go play with the Negroes. You dig what I'm saying? Look, yeah, you're right. They all came together for Kyrie Irving. And listen, in case y'all forgot, Kyrie never made a post, never said anything in the interview saying, "Hey, I'm begging y'all to go watch this movie. I'm telling all y'all, this is the best movie that's ever been made. If you pro-black, you need to watch this. If you hate white people, you need to watch this." He never said nothing like that. All he did was post a link. And you would think that he was Dylan Storm Roof or that cat that had that gun in Wisconsin shooting up everybody. Kyle, I can't remember the dude's last name. Whatever the dude's name is, right? But you would think, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse. You would think he was him. That's how they treated that man. And they try to do the same thing with Shador. Why? Because he's confident. You know what I find funny? When black men show any type of charisma, any type of confidence, anything like that, they're considered arrogant, right? They're considered arrogant and full of themselves and cocky and all these other kind of things. But when Kirk Cousins or Joe Burrow or one of these other cats is out here doing a what is it called, the giddy or the gritty, whatever it's called, when they're doing that, oh, he got swag. Where the hell did swag come from? Swag came from niggas. So when a white man shows charisma or shows any type of personality, it's all good. But when a Negro do it, he's a selfish teammate. And again, this whole NFL thing, this whole sports thing, period, it's the ultimate shut up and dribble. You got to go in there with your head down and say, thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for letting me feed my family. When in reality, we're allowing them to feed their family by going out there and performing at a high level. Yeah, that's a perfect example. See, there's a thing called free agency, and LeBron left Cleveland as a free agent. There was nothing saying that he had to sign that he had to re-sign with the Cavaliers. And when he left, them people was pissed at burning his jerseys, all kind of things. But on the flip side, just to show you how great us Negroes is that all you got to do is look at how the economy crashed in Ohio when LeBron left, and look at how it was restored and then some when he came back. See, they don't mind us Negroes being in the mix when we making money for them. They do mind when niggas come to the realization that we're the engine that make this thing go. And that whole thing with Shador was a reminder, like, hey, nigga, don't ever think that you bigger than the program, because we're gonna show you. And everybody keeps saying, man, he got to be humble. Man, he got to be humble. Man, he got to be humble. Y'all been humbling us for the last 400 years. We ain't humbled enough. Like Officer Thawagabar said at camp the other day. Y'all are sore winners. Y'all not sore losers. Y'all are sore winners. Y'all have won the war so far to this point. Y'all own everything. And y'all still find ways to keep us down. Because that man went from a first-round pick to a fifth-round pick, he lost millions of dollars because of that. And then y'all turn around and say, well, I hope this humbled him. There was reports coming out, oh, he's not all that good. He's not that good of a quarterback. Why was he a Heisman candidate? Why wasn't y'all saying all this about Johnny Manziel? We know why. We know why. That's exactly what they want. They wanted him to say Toby. You're absolutely right. You know what? That's a fair point. The sister said this is why Deion should have stayed with the HBCU. His actions show white men that he could be bought and sold very easily. I understand your point. What I will say, and I'm not saying you're wrong at all. What I'll add to that is this. Deion was coming out of his own pocket and using his connections to make Jackson State University functional, meaning all the things that they didn't have, he made sure that they had them. And how did they thank him? By breaking into his office and stealing his jewelry and stealing all kind of stuff from him. So I do understand your overall picture, but I wouldn't want to be nowhere where they stealing from me either, though. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're black, white, whatever university I'm at, if you stealing from me, I don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting money in y'all pocket, and this how y'all thank me. Y'all don't even have enough respect for me to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, my stuff don't get broken into. But again, I do understand your point. One last scripture on this Shador topic, and we're gonna get into the topic unless anyone has any questions. All right, let me get the book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 23. Let's get Judges chapter 16 and verse 23. This is the story of Samson. I'm fast forwarding to the part that's relevant, right? If you want to go back and get, actually, the story of Samson kind of plays into the whole thing with Shannon a little bit. I might tap in on that a little bit, but I got other scriptures for that. But let's finish this up real quick. This is Judges chapter 16 and verse 23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their God and to rejoice. So now, for context purposes, Samson had been locked up, right? They got the secret to Samson's power, or what Samson thought his power was. They found out the secret. They found out the secret to his power through a heathen woman. You know what I'm saying? Again, stay away from these heathen women. Us being brought down by heathen women been going on all the way since the Old Testament. So this ain't nothing new. Not just like, what's good? Hey, congratulations too on you finishing school, man. That's what's up. Let's get back to it. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their God and to rejoice. For they said, our God had delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. Even the heathens know that they do not serve the same God that we serve. Because their God is named Dagon, Dagon, or Dagon, however you say it, right? They offered a sacrifice unto their God. It does not say unto the Lord. It doesn't say unto the Most High. It says unto their God. It says our God had delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand, right? Verse 24. And when the people saw him, they praised their God. For they said, our God had delivered into our hands our enemy and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. Now, if we were all created equal, and if we were all supposed to love each other, why are these Philistines rejoicing over the capture of their enemy? Who was Samson? Samson is an Israelite. So if we are all supposed to love each other and we're all the same, why are the Philistines referring to Samson as an enemy? And why did they acknowledge the fact that Samson is a destroyer of their country and slew many of them? Why did Samson slew so many Philistines? Why did he do that? If we all one nation under God, allegedly. If we're all one nation under God, why was Samson slewing all those Philistines? And why were those Philistines celebrating when they captured Samson? Right? Verse 25. And it came to pass when their hearts were merry that they said, call for Samson that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. Right? I'm gonna stop right there, right? Because I think y'all get the point. They already had Samson locked up, right? They beat the man, they took his eyes out, everything, right? But yet, despite them beating him down mentally, physically, and every other way that you can think of, they still wanted him to come out and perform for them. It's the same thing with Shadur. Y'all humbled him, but yet he had the number one selling jersey amongst the 2025 NFL draft class. His Cleveland Browns number 2 jersey is the highest selling jersey in the class of 2023, which means what? It's higher than the number 1 overall pick, and it's higher than the number 2 overall pick. You get my point? So they decided that they wanted to humble him, but yet want to turn around and they want to make sure that they support him because they want him to go out there and win football games for the Cleveland Browns. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to sum all this up. Okay, y'all. Sorry about that, man. Listen. I assure y'all that my internet bill has been paid. I just this is crazy. I mean, the enemy would do everything that they can to try to stop us from teaching this truth. The enemy will do everything he can to stop us from exposing who the enemy is. The enemy will do everything he can to try to stop us from bringing the 12 tribes of Israel back together. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna stop us, man. We got about an hour left, so I'm gonna bust this class down. All right, ain't nothing gonna stop us, man. Yeah, he pissed. You right. Sister said, and no matter what they do, we will always be the salt of the earth. That's what Matthew 5 and I believe it's 13 says, right? Our person owns everything was slow down traction of Israel, who they taken everything from us, including our identity. You're absolutely right. That's what they've done. We call ourselves African Americans, Black, Negro. We call ourselves all these things because we don't know that we're Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Manasseh, on and on and on. You dig my point? Most High in Christ. I appreciate you. So yeah, man. What I'm trying to say to y'all is, all right, y'all. Let's try this again. Um, I think they're trying to get me to say Toby too. The way they keep interrupting my service, man. They doing everything they can to keep me from bringing out this truth, man. But they're not gonna stop us. because if I don't finish this class today, I'll just do it again another day. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But again, the whole thing about it, the point that I was trying to make before I get into this topic, unless anyone has any questions or comments that they would like to add, the whole thing about it is this: as long as you win in football games, as long as you win in basketball games, and as long as you saying all the right things, you good in a book. The minute that you show any hint of nigga shit whatsoever, that's when they start coming after you. You see what I'm saying? They call Shador arrogant. They call him cocky. They call him. They accuse him of throwing his teammates under the bus. They say all these things about him, but yet they can't name one crime that man committed. Never got a DUI. There's no reports of him getting drunk before games, getting drunk during practice, any of those things. This man has a reputation, you know what I'm saying, of dignity. You know what I'm saying? And royally speaking, which is a segue into the topic of integrity. We all know what Johnny Football was on, but yet he still was a first round pick. And the reason why he didn't last that long in the league is because you can't get by in the NFL on just pure athleticism and talent alone. You got to know that playbook, and you got to watch film. You got to know what schemes these coordinators is throwing at you, and that's the only thing that got that dude out the league. But yet, he still was a first round draft pick despite all the red flags. Shador has no red flags whatsoever. He ends up being a fifth pick. Now, when it's all said and done, it's football. It's another form of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Just like driving cement trucks. The only difference is being in the NFL pays a hell of a lot more than a cement truck driver does. And you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is you're still a slave at the end of the day. And they showed you with that draft who the slave masters and who the slave. You know what I'm saying? So that's it on that. If anybody has any questions or comments, again, we live on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, and we're live on YouTube as well, ISUPK Las Vegas, man. Like, share, and subscribe if you could. Let everybody know that we live. Just the description breakdown class. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. If you have any comments, go ahead and type them in. We was live on TikTok, but I guess I said the word Jewish one time too many, and they kicked me up out of there. So we won't be able to go live from there. It said till tomorrow, but ain't no thing. We gonna listen. Our job as priests and prophets of the Lord is to teach this truth. Go out onto the four corners of the earth and teach this truth. And God damn it, that's what we gonna do. All right. So now, if no one has any questions or comments, we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic. All right. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds. Let everybody that I lost during the connection, give them a couple of seconds to come back in, and then we'll get into the topic. All right. The topic for tonight's class is serving the Lord requires integrity. Integrity is something that is extremely lacking in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. And the only way that you can get that integrity back is by coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. All right. So if no one has any questions, I'll give y'all a couple more seconds. If no one has any questions, we're gonna go ahead and get it cracking. All right. All right, cool. The first thing we want to do is, because I don't, again, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. But again, if anyone has any questions, even though we get ready to start the topic, it ain't nothing for y'all to type y'all question in. And if I see it, I'll answer it, Lord allow. And again, if not, I'll write it down and I'll get your answer for you. All right. So it doesn't matter when you type your question in. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to get the definition for the word integrity. Again, the topic for tonight's class is serving the Lord requires integrity. All right. So the first thing we got to do is we got to know what integrity is, right? This is the definition for integrity in the Oxford Language Dictionary: the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. I saw another one that I wanted to use. I don't even see it now, but that's okay. We get the point of it. I'll read it again. The definition of the word integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, right? So now that we know now that we know what it is to have integrity, I want y'all to give me some examples of some men and or women in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community who lacks integrity. While I get the first scripture, which is Ecclesiastes, the second chapter and the first verse, while I get ready to pull our first scripture, I want you guys to give me some examples of men and women who lack integrity. All right. And I'm going to get the first scripture. We're going to Ecclesiastes chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 1. All right. Who can give me an example of someone who lacks integrity? Yeah, many of the female rappers. You're right. Shit, probably all of them. Yes, Puff Daddy. That's definitely a man who lacks integrity. You are 1000% correct about that. Yeah, TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar. Who's that? You talking about Jamal Bryant? Huh? Oh yeah, Jamal Bryant. What's the other dude's name? What's the close the doors man? What's his name? Close the doors. Man, I can't think of his name. What is that dude's name? Hey y'all, who's the close the doors dude? The pastor who said close the doors. Who that wanted that 40,000. What is his name? Yeah, y'all help me out, man. I can't think of that man's name for nothing. He knew how many people was watching online. He knew how many people was in the congregation, and he wanted 40,000 of them things. Man, I can't think of his name for nothing right now. But that cat right there, he lacks integrity. Man, I cannot believe I forgot that dude's name. Irritating. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Sap. That's his name. That's an interesting name for him. He is definitely a sap. He was sapping All right, y'all. Again, my apologies for all these interruptions. Even though I think we all know that I am not the cause of these interruptions, I think we all know this, but I'm gonna apologize anyway because I am a man of integrity. Thanks be to the Most High God and the mercy of Christ for allowing me, to be in this position to teach these classes. All right, so I want to thank everybody that's been, enduring all the buffering and all this other kind of stuff. I know it's getting late. I'm gonna get into the topic in a second. All right, I just want to say this real quick. What the brother said is on point. This is the best class because it's proof that they don't want the truth out. This is a perfect example. They will do anything that they can, and this is why we say in the prayers. You know what I'm saying? Um, that the Lord deals with anyone that tried to stop us from bringing out this truth. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? We are here to teach this truth. And no matter how many times they try to break up the class and all that, man, we're gonna drop this truth. All right. So again, the topic for tonight's class, we got about 30 minutes left. Lord allow, man, I can get through all these scriptures. If not, you know what I'm saying? I believe when it's all said and done, I will have made the point of why integrity is so important. But Marvin Sapp is the cat that I was thinking of who lacks integrity. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know that none of these cats serve God, because I'm going to show you scriptures, pertaining to having and maintaining integrity. And here's the whole thing about it, right? This is how you know that Christians really don't believe in the Bible and they really don't know or study the Bible. Because if they did, there's no way in the world that Sapp would be saying or doing the things that he's doing. There's no way that TD Jakes or any of these fake pastors will be doing the things that they're doing, because they know that these things go against everything that the Most High stands for, right? I can pretty much guarantee you that they had an Easter Sunday service. I can pretty much guarantee it. They probably had two services, and I'm sure that they had breakfast, and I'm sure that they had dinner. And I can pretty much guarantee you that whether it was breakfast, whether it was dinner, there was pork all in that place. The reason why people went to church on Sunday is because they knew that it was going to be some pork on the stove. They knew that they knew that swine was going to be sizzling, and that's why they went to church. You got some people that only go to church once a year. Not saying you should be going at all, because that's the last place you should go. But my point is, when they know it's free pork on the line, they going to church. What they don't realize is that pork ain't free. Why do hey y'all, let me ask y'all something. How do y'all know that pork ain't free that y'all getting? Y'all going there for Sunday breakfast and y'all going in there for Sunday brunch or Sunday dinner. How do y'all know that pork ain't free that y'all think is free? Let me ask y'all. I know everybody that's watching this class that's in this school, y'all ain't been to church in a long time, so y'all might not remember the answer to this question. But I'm gonna ask y'all anyway. How do y'all know that all that pork that they stuffing down their fat, greasy mouths is not free? They say the Old Testament is done away with, but tithes in the Old Testament walk and breathe in contradictions. You're absolutely, that's a good point. They selling plates, that's true. Not the answer I'm looking for, but you are right. That's the answer that I was looking for right there. I'm on about you got it. The collection plate will come around more than once. That's how you know. Let me tell you something. You're paying for that pork. I don't know if you knew this, but all y'all that go to church on Sunday thinking y'all getting a free breakfast, what y'all don't understand is they fronted the money to go buy the pork, and because they're part of a church, they probably didn't even have to buy the goddamn pork. But trust and believe your hard-earned money bought that nasty ass swine. So don't thank the pastor. Don't praise white Jesus. Thank yourself. You know what I'm saying? But anyone who went to Sunday service, they lack integrity. Anyone who eats pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, you lack integrity. Any so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American that gets in the bed with the heathen, which is someone from another nation, you lack integrity. I'm talking to you, Saquon Barkley. I'm talking to you, Shannon Sharp. I'm talking to you, Patrick Mahomes, father and son Mahomes. Both of y'all niggas. I'm talking to both of y'all. Anyone who sleeps with the enemy lacks integrity. If you don't believe me, because I can go on and on and on, and I can throw names at y'all all day long. Let me throw Steve Harvey's name out there as well, because he might not be married to a heathen, but you can bet your bottom dollar that he has no integrity whatsoever. How do you know? Because he's the same one that said, I don't give a damn about slavery. Y'all can look it up if y'all don't believe me. That's what he said. I didn't say it, he said it. So you know he ain't got no integrity. Hey, he probably had on a goddamn Adidas suit with a goddamn Kango out there roasting that wild boar. He had it with the stick going through it, and he had it on that spinning thing with the flames up under the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And because he used to flaming, the fire didn't even bother him at all. They probably gonna clip me for that flaming part, but I don't care, man. Listen, I'm gonna drop this truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. Listen, at this point, listen, man, I'm going for broke at this point. I don't give a damn. I'm finna expose, you know what I'm saying, these butt pirates and all that. Yes, rotisserie flaming pirates, butt pirates is what was going on in that church with that sap cat. I can promise you that. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I can easily spend the last 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying, just with a barrage of jokes and clowning the Christian church and clowning the pig and all that, because in reality, the pig actually is the Christian's God. That's who they serve. They serve pork. So instead of having that picture or that statue of Jesus on the cross, you know what they should have? They should have a pig on a rotisserie. That should be what they be praying to. Because the reason why they come up against it so much is because we tell them that they can't eat pork. Or should it be a lobster? What y'all think? Or should it be a big ass statue of a shrimp, or a lobster and a shrimp joined together, or some catfish? What y'all think? Hey, this dude right here that said Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone who believes. Can you please post a scripture that supports your theory? Because while you're saying that, oh, Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob is hilarious. While you're saying Christ is the end of the law for righteousness, I'm going to go in the scripture. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding, and I'm not going to let emotions drive me. I'm going to let the scriptures do all the talking. So we're going to go to Matthew 5:17, which is written in red. And so who's the dude named Timotheus? Joint heir Timotheus. I usually don't say names when I'm live because a lot of y'all are not really worth our time, but I'll entertain you for a few minutes because this is a scripture breakdown class. So now, Timotheus, since you claim to know the Bible, let me ask you something. When the words in the New Testament are written in red, what does that mean? I'm a pig, but you eat pig and you sleep with pigs. What the fuck is you talking about? Can you answer the question why you sitting there trying to be funny and trying to interrupt my class? See, it's losers like this that I really make fun of, because usually when I'm scrolling through the TV or I'm scrolling through the radio and I don't hear anything that I'm interested in, I keep scrolling until I find something that I actually am interested in. I'm not gonna sit there and engage or entertain nothing that I'm not interested in. Meanwhile, this cornball ass dude right here wants to try to interrupt the class. First it was the internet tripping. Now it's this little cornball ass, coon ass, suck ass nigga right here. What the hell are you doing in my chat, dude? Can you answer the question? If you know anything about the Bible in the New Testament, when the words are written in red, what does that mean? See, that's how I know you're an idiot. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Hey, listen, dude, go jump in somebody else's chat. Go blow the rod of your Christian pastor or your imam, or go to Pope Francis' gravesite and go blow his rod and get the fuck out of my class, because I don't have time for stupid idiots like you. If you're here to learn, we can actually dialogue. But if you're here to try to interrupt and disrupt this class, hey, you could do a move and do it. I don't got time for dummies like you. I'm here to try to teach this truth according to the Bible. And for the record, this is a tam. If you know anything about our culture, you would know that we rock tams. But I know you wouldn't know that. You probably some punk ass white boy hiding behind the goddamn keyboard like a fake ass tough guy. Hey, I rock. If you in the chat or whoever's in the chat, man, kick this bum ass nigga out of my goddamn chat. I don't got time. I was actually gonna go ahead and try to engage this dude, but since he wants to call me an uncircumcised dog because he's an internet tough guy, I don't got tolerance for it, man. Boot this dude the hell up out my chat, man. I don't got time for it. I really don't. I was trying to be patient with you and rock with you, but you here to disrupt, and I don't have a tolerance for that. This class is for people who actually ask questions, who actually has legitimate questions and actually really want to know the truth about the Bible. If you are a so-called white man, you're right. I am filled with hate. I am filled with hate for the so-called white man. Why? Because the crime that he's committed and the crime that he's committing against my people. I love my people. I love what the Lord loves, and I hate what the Lord hates. And if you're a so-called white man, I can go in the scripture and show you where God hates your pasty, pale, goddamn Elmer's glue looking ass as well if you need me to. I can do that. I don't even know you, but I hate your character. Why? Because it's cats like you know what I'm saying, whose forefathers raped, robbed, and murdered my forefathers and my foremothers. Cats like you is in the way. I hate the oppression that my people have been suffering from for the last 400 years. So you goddamn right I'm filled with hate. I don't identify with the flesh. That lets me know he a white boy. I understand. Listen, man. Hey, dude, listen. You want to holler at me offline? ShabalUPK@yahoo.com. That's my email address. Shoot me an email with your phone number and we can wrap in. In the meantime, get the hell out of my way, man. I got work to do. Because while you doing all this and trying to run interference and do all that white man diversion shit that y'all usually do, you never did answer my question, which was in the New Testament when the words are written in red, what does that mean? You did not answer the question. People that don't identify with the flesh, they're usually white folks. You're a slave. All right, Akim, Akwakium, and fanboy, I'm back. This is a pole riding fanboy right here because he's still in the chat. You know what I'm saying? My internet cut off and everything. I'm back in business and you still on here pole riding, right? How you properly ask that question is, are you circumcised? Not are you circumcision? Okay? If you're going to ask me a question, ask me the question with some intelligence. And to answer your question, that's none of your goddamn business, whether I'm circumcised. Now, why the hell is a dude asking another dude if he's circumcised? The fuck is going on here? Hey, yo, my mans, you moving real suspect around here, dude. You moving real moist around here, man. I'm telling you, man. Again, I gave you my email address. If you want to holler at me offline, shoot me an email. In the meantime, keep your moist pole jockeying out of this chat. I got a class to teach. And again, you did not answer my question. So because you didn't answer my question, I'm going to use these last 20 minutes of class. First I'm going to go ahead and tell you what Christ said in the New Testament, since you believe that the law is done away with. I'm going to go ahead and answer your question real quick, and then I'm going to get back to teaching my class. are you circumcision? The question is, are you circumcised? That's how you know that's how you know that he's white, because his people are Neanderthals. They goddamn cave dwellers. So they don't even know how to speak their own goddamn language. This is Matthew. Yeah, Taza, you're right. He's sleeping with Finkelstein. Now it makes sense why I keep buffing and kicking me off. You know what I'm saying? Dropping too much knowledge and kicking this white boy in his ass at the same time. So now we're going to go to the New Testament, and we're going to go to what Christ said, because Christ is our king and Christ is who we're supposed to be following, right? So now this is Matthew 5:17. And I'm still waiting for you to answer my question. Christ said, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Verse 18, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled." Verse 19, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." I will skip down for time's sake to Matthew 5:48. Christ said, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." So now my question to everyone that's watching, what does it mean to be perfect according to the Bible? This is for this Timotheus cake mix, fruity pepper ass nigga. Who can tell me what it means to be perfect according to the Bible? Yeah, and I said according to the Bible, not your own interpretation, not your feelings, not your emotions, any of those things. What does it mean to be perfect according to the Bible? And if we're supposed to be followers of Christ, if Christ told us to do something, aren't we supposed to do it? Say it again. Following his laws, statutes, and commandments is what makes you perfect according to the Bible, not your dumbass understanding or your emotions or your feelings or any of those things. You are considered perfect if you do not break any of the laws in the Bible. So, for anyone out there teaching that the law was done away with, or that when Christ died, the law died with it, you are a liar, a fake teacher, and a false prophet, and you are part of the problem and not part of the solution. You are one of the ones that are leading our people astray. One last scripture so I can drive the point all the way home, and then I can get into my topic for the next 15 minutes. Lord allow the stream don't drop again. Let's go to Romans, the 6th chapter, because everybody loves Paul, because everybody thinks that Paul teaches something different than what Christ taught, not knowing that Christ is the one that came to Paul and told Paul that what he was doing was wrong. This is Romans chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Listen, man, this is what you don't understand. See, you're going against what Christ said. That's how I know that you're not a follower of Christ. That's how I know that you're a fraud. You are a fraud and a phony, and you are wasting my time, and you never answered the question. If Christ said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets, that means that the law is still in effect to this day. When Christ said, be ye therefore perfect, you are considered perfect based on keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. This is in the New Testament. 1 John 5 and 3 says, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. First, let me skip up to verse 2. This 1 John chapter 5. Actually, yeah, this 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. Verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. I think I've proved my point already. I'm done with you. You are a waste of my time. But thank you for keeping the algorithm going. I appreciate you. Duncan Hines Cake Mix. Now, let's get into the Apocrypha. We're going to get a couple of these scriptures because we're running out of time. So I won't be able to, you know what I'm saying, get all the scriptures in. But when it's all said and done, you will understand the point of what integrity is. This cat right here has no idea what integrity is. This is why he's trying to disrupt the class. He's not even trying to learn. He's not trying to listen to none of that. This right here, while everybody was saying that Shador need to be humble, this cat right here need to be humble. You came into my class, interrupted my class. You are a moron. You are a complete moron. And listen, you are wasting away your white privilege. You should be out there sleeping with your cousins like y'all normally do. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and go bench press a transmission or something like that. Go play in traffic, man. Go play frisbee on the train tracks or something like that. Go play in a goddamn lightning storm or something like that. Go find something to do, man. We don't got time for you or your tactics or your nonsense because you don't know the Bible, and the Bible was not given to you or your people in the first place. Your people took the Bible, watered it down, and gave it to my people. This is why my people like to join hands with your people. Niggas like me and the brothers in the UPK, we can smell the pork coming off of you from a mile away. You are a waste of time. But again, thank you for keeping the algorithm going. Now, let's get into this topic. I'm going to ignore this cat for the rest of class. He's not worth my time. He is beneath me. You should be thanking me for even taking the time on my class to even acknowledge you. This is Ecclesiastes. Again, the topic for tonight's class is serving the Lord requires integrity, something that this dude don't know nothing about. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in a time of trouble. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Meaning what? There are going to be some times in your life where things are going to be really hard. Things are going to be difficult for you. You're going to go through some things. But in the midst of that, do not make haste. What it means to make haste is, or what it's saying when it says don't make haste, meaning don't make an irrational decision, or don't make a decision based on your feelings or your emotions. You dig what I'm saying? You have to maintain your integrity. That's what the scripture is telling you to do. It said, prepare your soul for temptation. Because when you start to come into the truth, if you was a major weed smoker, everyone that you used to kick it with is going to try to give you weed. They're not going to try to sell it to you. They're going to try to give it to you. They're going to try to invite you to every party where there's going to be weed from the front door all the way to the back door. You dig what I'm saying? A man of integrity turns that weed down. A man of integrity can show up at that party say what's up to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Have a dance, you know what I'm saying? Talk to a couple of his partners and get the hell on and never puff anything. That is a man of integrity. You see what I'm saying? And that's what this Bible is all about. That's what these laws, statutes, and commandments are all about. There's temptations that surrounds us everywhere that we go and in everything that we do. But we have to stand strong and stand tall and believe in the law, statutes, and commandment that the Lord gave us and use these scriptures to give us the strength that we need to overcome the temptations of this world. All right. Let's go to 1 Kings. Let's go to 1 Kings. We're going to 1 Kings chapter 9, and we're going to start at verse 1, and we're going to read down to verse 7. All right. It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1. And it came to pass when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord and the king's house and all Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do. Verse 2. That the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, and he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house which thou hast built, to put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. Verse 4. And if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. What does it mean to have integrity of heart? I'm asking the class, what does it mean to have integrity of heart? This is something that the brothers and sisters in the UPK exercise every day. Integrity of heart. The Lord said to Solomon to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. The law is all throughout this Bible, all throughout it. Who knows what it means to have integrity of heart? That's true, but lay it down flat, nice and flat. Brotherhood and sisterhood is part of keeping the law, and that is having it in integrity. But what does it mean to have integrity of heart? For time's sake, I'm gonna give it to y'all, but y'all still free to type y'all answers in if y'all want. To have integrity of heart is what Saquon Barkley needed. When President Trump, y'all's President Trump, meaning this Timotheus moron, when he invited Saquon to go play golf with him, if Saquon had integrity of heart, he would have remembered what Trump is doing to his brothers and sisters on the borders and how ICE agents is kicking down doors all day, every day. He would have had integrity of heart and said, why the hell would I go play golf with you when you got my people in chains? To have integrity of heart means have integrity of the mind, meaning not compromising your mind, not putting these law, statutes, and commandments to the side to satisfy your lust. That's what it means to have integrity of mind. Because one of your friends will say, oh man, it's just a little weed, just go in and take a puff. But if you have integrity of the mind, you'll say, man, this dude trying to get me to sin. I'm not smoking that weed. I'm not eating that pork. I'm not going to church on Easter Sunday. What the hell I look like? I have integrity. So therefore, I will not be in your church. You dig what I'm saying? Let's get some more. Verse 5. Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever. It doesn't say I will establish my kingdom upon everybody or upon all the nations. This says, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. Verse 6, but if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them. Verse 7, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, in this house which I have hallowed for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all the people. For time's sake, I might drop one more. Nah, all the scriptures I got is kind of, actually, I got two more that are just one verse, and it doesn't require too many verses to read, because I had a whole class lined up. Lord allow, my schedule allowed, I'm able to come back and teach this class next Thursday. Lord allow, I'm gonna try my best to teach this class next week, schedule allowed, right? The Most High laid it down to Solomon all the way flat. He said, if you do not keep my commandments and my statutes, and you go and serve other gods and worship other gods, I will cut Israel off of the land and I will cast you out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all the people. So now, fast forward to 2025. If you want to know why Saquon is married to a heathen, if you want to know why Pat Mahomes and his father are married to heathens, if you want to know why Shannon Sharp is so in love with heathens, it's because we turned our back on the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. He said that we will be a proverb and a byword among all the people, meaning what? We'd be nothing more than a laughing stock. Everybody that was a fan of Shannon's for what he did on the football field and his ability to break down the games, they all turned on him when he got caught up in the scandal. Why did he get caught up in the scandal? Because he lacks mental integrity. This is what he's lacking. He lacks the mental integrity. All these athletes and celebrities who will sing and dance for the oppressor, they all lack integrity. And what I mean by sing and dance is say the things that will throw your people under the bus. That's what I mean. Because we're in captivity. So if you're able to play football, play football. Pay your tithes, but play football. If you're able to play basketball and you're able to play the piano or you're able to play the guitar and all these things, do that. Get your money, but pay your tithes. ISUPK.com is the website. Pay your tithes. Unlike Marvin Sapp, we're not asking for $40,000. We're asking for 10%. Why? Because the law says 10%, a tenth. My Ishara in the Hebrew. All right. Lack of integrity is why we have fallen as a nation. Us sleeping with other nations, us cooning to the other nations, us eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, us being taught by the taskmaster or the slave master that we don't have to keep the law no more, shows a lack of mental integrity and shows exactly why it is that we are considered a proverb and a byword in 2025. So if you want to know why we're the last hired and the first fired, if you want to know why it is that these other nations are on the top and we're on the bottom, it's because we turned our back on the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Here's the good thing about all of this, though. Christ died to give us a second chance. Because of Christ, we actually have an opportunity to come back and serve the Most High God and be followers of Christ. And how do we follow Christ? By doing what he did. Christ came on this earth and gave us the blueprint on how we're supposed to live. And if we live the way Christ did, meaning we live on this earth without breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, through that and through prayer and obedience to the Most High, Lord allow, the Most High will look down on us and see that we've been beaten down long enough, and he will send Christ and the angels back into the earth to destroy modern day Babylon, to destroy modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, to destroy this place and put these devils back in their place, which is back in the caves in underground where they belong, because they had no business reigning over us, because they're beneath us in every way, shape, or form possible. The only way back to the Most High God, the only way that Christ's death means anything to us is if we die as well. And what I mean by die is kill the old man, kill the old woman. That is the only way that we got action at the kingdom of heaven. The Most High made us an honorable vessel, and the white man a dishonorable vessel. So why do we keep following this honorable? No integrity. Listen, I could have said it better myself, sister, and I appreciate you sticking through it with me, despite all the interruption and everything in class, and the dummies trying to interrupt the class and all these other things, the buffering and all that. We got through another class. I pray that the Lord allows me to finish this class next week, because I got plenty more examples that I can go through, plenty more scriptures talking about what we're talking about right now. So Lord allow, I will see you brothers and sisters next week. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, man. ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas on YouTube, ISUPK Las Vegas on TikTok, ISUPK Las Vegas on Instagram as well. This has been another scripture breakdown class from the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Since 1969, man, we've been dropping this truth on so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay. You know what? I will stick around for a couple more seconds to answer this question. The question is, what's the difference between this and Christianity? Christianity is a religion that was started by the so-called white man, or the Edomites, or the oppressors, right? This right here, this is the Bible. This has nothing to do with religion. The Bible is not religion-based. There are rules and regulations. There is culture, there's a lifestyle, and there's history in this book that gives us the blueprint as to how we're supposed to live our lives. What we're supposed to eat, what we're not supposed to eat, how we're supposed to dress, who we're supposed to sleep with, what we're supposed to celebrate, what we're not supposed to celebrate. That's what's in this book. Christianity gives you the green light to be the most evil, wicked bastard on the face of the earth. You got to think about it. Damn near everyone that is locked up right now went to church every Sunday. Okay, so let me break that down for you, right? There's a difference between being a Christian and Christianity. In the Bible, when it refers to Christians in the New Testament, it's talking about people that followed Christ. That's what it means to be a Christian, to follow Christ. Christianity is a religion that was made up by the so-called white man to get us to not follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and follow the blueprint that was set out for us by our oppressors. Christianity teaches you that the laws are done away with. Like the sister said, Christianity allows you to willfully sin. The Bible tells you that the wages of sin is death. Again, if you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native American, man or woman, I'm not sure what you are, I'm not trying to disrespect, but my point is, if you are of the 12 tribes of Israel, if you are living a life of sin, we're the reason why we're in this condition. You're right. Christ did die for our sins. It doesn't mean we can sin. You are absolutely correct. And that's the difference. You just answered your own question. That's the difference between what we do and Christianity, because Christianity tells you that you can sin and then go to church, or go to go inside that little box, talk to the pastor, the pope who likes to molest children. You can go inside that little box, confess your sins to a sinner, in the Bible. Okay, so usually we end the class at 9, but because this person, whoever this person is asking questions, I'll give you a couple more minutes. Hopefully, we don't get cut off again. Here's the thing: just because not all churches teach you to sin does not mean that Christianity does not teach you to sin overall. Just because there are women out there who have not had abortions, it does not mean that black women are not number one in abortions according to the stats. Okay. So again, overall, Christianity teaches you that it's okay to sin. Just because you got a handful of churches that teaches that it's not okay to sin, it doesn't change my overall point. All right. Now, to answer your question again, like I said in the class earlier, this is not a 6-point star. It's not a star at all. If you go back and learn the ancient Hebrew, you would know that the ancient Hebrew, they don't use A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They go A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za. Da is just like this, right? King David's name in Hebrew is Dawada. His signature is 2 Das intertwined. This is King David's signature. It is not a star. A star is a ball of gas. All this is 2 dots intertwined. I challenge everyone who says that I'm a GD and it's a 6-point star and all these other kind of things. I challenge you to go get the Hebrew alphabet and look up. Matter of fact, since you want to play this game, I'll play with y'all for a couple seconds. I'll show y'all. I'll show y'all the Hebrew alphabet real quick. I'll show you the Da, and I'll show you what a Da looks like, and I'll show you that this is nothing more than King David's signature intertwined. It's just 2 dots intertwined. It's really simple. Let's see where's my alphabet at? Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I got this alphabet in this notebook. Let's see. That's cool, Phil Graves. But the thing about it, there's a lot of people out there that actually believe what you're saying. So even though you're joking, there's a lot of people out there that believe that, this is a 6-point star and, this is the Star of David and we GDs and all these other kind of things. When in all actuality, you know what I'm saying, we are the Israelites of the Bible. Trying to find, what did I do with that? See, yeah. All right, y'all bear with me real quick. I'm gonna end the class after this. All right, I just want to show y'all something real quick. Y'all bear with me. Let me see. Just want to find the alphabet real quick for y'all. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna show y'all the alphabet real quick. Again, Phil Graves, I appreciate you saying it was a joke. But again, for those that think that what you were saying is real, that right there is the Da. That's what that is. That's a Da. King David's name is Dawada. So when you see the 2 Das intertwined, that's King David's signature. That's all that is. And then I can show you the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet. Again, bear with me 1 second. Let me get this for y'all real quick. Because the Bible does say prove all things. So if I was just up here just talking and couldn't prove the things that I was saying, then I wouldn't be no better than Marvin Sapp and the rest of these cats out here who claim to know the Bible and, you know what I'm saying, lie on the Bible. So because the Bible says prove all things, that's what I want to do. So if y'all give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull up the alphabet. Bam, here it is right here. Y'all see that? Let me show y'all. Look at this. So if you can see it, it goes Abagada Hawaza. Then you got Ka'a, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Ta. This right here is the ancient Hebrew alphabet. So for the brother that's asking, Reuben Israel, for the brother that's asking, again, it's not a star. You see that right there? You see that? The letter Da, those are two Das intertwined. It's King David's signature. That's it. King David's name in Hebrew is Da Wa Da. So it's just two Das intertwined. You see what I'm saying? The 7 candlesticks represent the 7 schools that Paul raised up. We do have the candlesticks in our classes, but we do not wear chains with seven candlesticks on it. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what you want to rock, go and handle your business. But listen, I already ran over the time. Lord allow, I'll be back next week. If you have any questions or comments, hit us up on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. Hit us up on YouTube, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on TikTok, ISUPK Las Vegas, and on Instagram, ISUPK Las Vegas. So all these questions y'all got, all these comments, bring them over there to our social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get with y'all over there. In the meantime, all you brothers and sisters that came with genuine questions and genuine comments, you know what I'm saying? Throughout y'all for rocking with us. Till next time, Lord allow, next Thursday, I'll be back with y'all. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Brak a thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Allah Thun Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.